Asphaltic plug joints are quite common in small movement bridges. They are commonly used with a backer rod and a steel plate, which is centered over the expansion joint. This method has been found to be still vulnerable to deterioration due to the penetration of moisture and chlorides. Dek Shield Infrastructure Solutions introduces the Dri Shield System, an alternative and a perfect solution for waterproofing an expansion joint with an asphaltic plug. Components: the Dri Shield system is comprised of a combination of compatible membrane layers. Dry Prime, a quick-drying liquid primer used to prepare the concrete and to enhance the adhesion of the membrane to the bridge surface. Flex Membrane, a softer membrane used as the first layer. The membrane is 4 mm and reinforced with a non-woven continuous fiber polyester mat having superior elongation properties with exceptional tensile strength. Also used as the curb line flashing. Dry Span Membrane. This is what keeps the moisture from seeping in through the concrete. The membrane is 5 mm and is prefabricated as a polyester reinforced atactic propylene modified bitumen roll. The top finish is silica sand. Armor Membrane, a prefabricated 4 mm atactic propylene membrane reinforced with an additional layer of a steel mesh. The steel mesh has been added to strengthen the membrane against the mechanical shock and compression of applied heavy loads. The armor membrane is to be applied as the last layer of the Dri Shield system over the expansion joint. Installation: centered on the expansion joint, cut open a section of the paving a minimum of 6 feet wide across the bridge. This is called a blockout. Remove all existing paving materials down to the concrete. Make all necessary repairs to the area as required. Then install the Dri Shield system as follows. The first step is to apply the Dry Prime primer on the surface of the exposed concrete through a brush or a roller. The purpose is to prepare the surface and to enhance the adhesion of the membranes. After a short period of time, depending on environmental conditions, the color of the primer will dry darker. The next step is to install the flex membrane. The membrane gets inserted into the gap using a rebar or pipe with a smaller diameter than the joint size, making a hollow, inverted dome shape extending inside the joint. A propane-fueled Hawk heater type torch is used to apply heat under the flex membrane, bonding the membrane on both sides of the expansion joint, yet still leaving unbonded membrane in the joint gap. The whole blockout is then covered with the Dry Span Membrane. The membrane is applied using the same Hawk heater type torch. This layer ensures maximum endurance to moisture and chlorides. The armor membrane is also torch applied, centered over the expansion joint as the top layer to strengthen the membrane structure, completing the Dri Shield system. Curb flashing is the last step. This is the area at the intersection of the bridge deck and the curb, requiring vertical application of the flex membrane to ensure continuity of protection of the waterproofing. The blockout is then ready for paving. It is advised to place a slip sheet 20 inches wide centered on the joint over the membranes to allow for the removal of paving for future installation of the asphaltic plug. At that time, the asphaltic plug can be installed as per that manufacturer. Dek Shield Infrastructure Solutions.